Hey guys. Hopefully everybody is doing great. Happy June 1st. Okay, happy June 1st. I can't believe we're in the middle of 2023, which is crazy. So it's been a while since I've been live. So hopefully some of you guys can join me or watch the replay. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, okay? And make sure you guys like the video as well and share it with somebody you know that has fibroids or anemia, okay? So hey to those that are coming in. Hey everyone. So I want to talk about fibroids and anemia and the relationship between both of them, okay? This is a very common issue. Both are very common issues that a lot of women have, that a lot of women go through. And unfortunately, you know, most women either have fibroids or anemia. A lot of women have both, okay? And a lot of women don't realize that these are symptoms of a much larger problem. You know, we tend to just look at fibroids. Hey, everyone coming in. Hope that you guys are doing amazing. We tend to look at just fibroids and anemia individually. We don't really see the bigger issue. And you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, you guys know I'm all about getting to the root cause of the problem. Very, very important, because these are, like I said, are symptoms of a bigger issue going on in the body, okay? I'm going to break that down in this live, okay? So yes, so in case you guys don't know, in case you guys haven't heard, I'm having a 2-day workshop next week. That's called Freedom from Fibroids, okay? And I'm so excited about the 2-day workshop. It's going to be a Zoom workshop. Everybody's welcome to sign up. I'm going to be teaching ladies natural solutions on shrinking fibroids and eliminating fibroids, okay? Because so many women are out there dealing with fibroids. About 70% of women will get fibroids before the age of 50. So I want to give you guys practical solutions, you know, everyday habits, diet habits that really work when it comes to shrinking and getting rid of fibroids. These are solutions that I've used on myself and my clients, okay? And they are successful, okay? So I haven't had a workshop in like 6 months. So if you guys, if you've been to my workshop, I'm sure that you know how amazing they are. My last workshop was amazing. Hi. Hope that you're doing great. Hi from Maryland. Yes, so I hope that you guys are doing amazing. So my workshops are like amazing. So ladies, if you have fibroids, if you know anybody with fibroids, be sure to click the link in my bio and sign up for this Freedom from Fibroids workshop, okay? And the replays are included. It's going to be from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be on Zoom next week, Wednesday and Thursday. So it's actually in 6 days. So on the 7th of June and the 8th of June. Okay. So I'm really excited about this workshop, Freedom from Fibroids, and teaching more and more women who are struggling with fibroids how natural solutions on getting rid of these things. You know, we're really going to explore, you know, the natural, not just the physical way to get rid of fibroids. Also, because a lot of people don't realize that fibroids develop due to like stress and emotional stress and trauma. We're going to talk about all that stuff, okay? So make sure you join, you sign up. It is $75, but it is well worth it, okay? Because you're going to learn a lot within those 4 hours you're going to be with me, okay? And of course, the replays are going to be included, so you can watch them over and over again and really soak in the information, okay? So let's talk about fibroids and anemia, okay? And if you guys have any questions, definitely feel free to ask me. Fibroids are described as non-cancerous growths in or around the uterus, okay? So what exactly are these things? What are these growths? You know, excess mucus, toxins, and fluid, okay, that turn into scar tissue and develop into fibroids, okay? So essentially, like I was saying in the beginning, fibroids are a result of a much bigger problem. Okay, if you've developed fibroids, it's not just, people just look at fibroids on its own. They don't look at what happened for my body to develop these tumors, okay? Because it doesn't just come out of the blue. You know, these are things that I used to think that, okay, I just have fibroids, but you know, I'm healthy. And a lot of women think that. I'm like, no, there's a breakdown somewhere in the body's detoxification process. What happened for you to develop fibroids, okay? So we're talking about a stagnant lymphatic system. And in case you don't know what the lymphatic system is the body's sewage, pretty much the body's sewage system, okay? Very important system in the body. It helps eliminate the toxins, you know, out of the body, okay? Which is very important, because if toxins are accumulating in our body, this is what makes us more susceptible to get fibroids and other health issues as well, okay? Also, fibroids come from a hormonal imbalance, an imbalance of estrogen in the body. So you have estrogen dominance, which means that your estrogen levels are high in relation to your progesterone levels, okay? And what this does, it knocks the body out of balance again and makes the body a lot more susceptible to health issues, okay? This is where things like endometriosis as well and PCOS and other reproductive health issues come from. A lot of women have estrogen dominance, and it manifests in the body to so many a range of different health issues. Okay, so very important. Also, if you have fibroids, you know that you have a lot of mineral deficiencies. You know, you have your body is also severely dehydrated on a cellular level. Okay, so this is really serious. It's not just, like I said, it's not just the issue with the fibroids. It's also what comes, you know, what developed those fibroids in the first place. Okay, anemia is also a really big issue. So I'm going to kind of teach you guys how that kind of like goes together. Okay, and this is why I always tell people fibroids usually is accompanied by another health issue, usually anemia or IBS, constipation. It's rarely just, you know, if you have fibroids, it's really just fibroids on its own. It's usually another health issue or several health issues that's also accompanied with fibroids. Okay, so it's a serious issue because we're dealing with the overflow of toxins in your body, and that's not being eliminated properly as it's supposed to be. It's not being, you know, you're not eliminating. It's a disruption in the body's detoxification process. And whenever we have that, that's when we're susceptible to so many health issues. So it's definitely no joke. Okay. So I'm gonna definitely also talk more about that at my workshop next week, at my Freedom from Fibroids workshop next week. Okay, that I'm having, in case you guys didn't hear about it, it's a 2-day workshop, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to be giving you guys practical solutions also on how to not just determine what caused these fibroids, but also practical solutions on eliminating these fibroids, okay, and shrinking the fibroids. Very, very important. And in case you didn't know, the Freedom from Fibroids workshop is in 6 days. And if you want to join, the link is in my bio, okay? If you want to sign up. If you have fibroids, I strongly recommend that you sign up for this workshop, okay? So a lot of women that have fibroids also have anemia. You know, this is very common, and that's for several reasons. You know, iron deficiency anemia is very common among women on its own. Very, very common, especially among Black women. Okay, and that's due to several reasons besides fibroids. It's also due to having heavy menstrual cycles. A lot of women have heavy menstrual cycles, okay, especially Black women, okay? A lot of women have really bad diet. That's another contributor to having heavy menstrual cycles, because if you're there's also another contributor to anemia, because of course anemia, if you're anemic, more than likely you have really bad menstrual cycles, really heavy menstrual cycles, or prolonged menstrual cycles. You're bleeding too much, right? Also, it could be from blood loss from past pregnancies and a range of other things. It could be thyroid issues. Okay, so what is the link between fibroids and anemia? So number one, when we're talking about heavy menstrual cycles, that is one of the symptoms of fibroids, okay? Not everybody that has fibroids has heavy menstrual cycles, but a good number of women do, okay? So, and of course, if you're hemorrhaging every month, of course, you're gonna lose a lot of iron and a lot of minerals as well. It's not even gonna be just iron. You're gonna also be mineral deficient in many minerals, okay? So not all women, like I said, not all women with fibroids experience that. A good number of them do. Okay, and sometimes the heavy bleeding could be due to the location of the fibroid. It could be due to where exactly the fibroid is in the uterus or outside of the uterus. If it's within the uterine lining, then more than likely you're going to be prone to bleeding a little bit heavier. Also, if it's even in the cavity, you're prone to the uterine cavity. You're going to be prone to bleeding a lot heavier as well. Okay. So it's really important to know that no matter how big they are, if it's in the lining or within the cavity, no matter how big they are, you're going to be prone to bleeding a lot more than usual, okay? And also what can happen too is the formation of clots, which is a whole nother issue, and a lot of women don't realize when it comes to heavy bleeding and clots, even on its own, it's not normal. There's indication that something's wrong in the body, okay? A lot of women that have fibroids pass very large clots during their cycle. Be very painful, and they could be in pain before and during their menstrual cycle, okay, which I always tell women is no way to live, right? So a lot of women also with fibroids have bleed for a good number of days, a whole week, sometimes even longer. I've heard some women may even have continuous bleeding where it just doesn't stop. They're bleeding every single day. I've seen that. I've had clients like that as well, okay? And it could be a lot, especially when you're dealing with fibroids and what comes with the fibroids, with all these symptoms, right? Not everybody will experience symptoms, but a lot of women do, okay? So when we're talking about heavy menstrual cycles, that is a uterine health issue on its own. that is a reproductive health issue on its own. And it's, you know, it's due to you having heavy amounts of toxicity in the body. It's due to, again, mineral deficiencies and your body being dehydrated on a cellular level. Okay, that's where heavy bleeding comes from. Your body's, you know, essentially trying to purge out those toxins because all your other pathways of elimination is clogged up, you know. So this is where, clogged up with toxins. So this is where we get the heavy, your uterus trying to purge out those toxins from, and that's where we get the heavy bleeding from. Okay, so all these things, a lot of people don't know, all these things can be resolved. All these things can be addressed, you know, when it comes to your fibroid symptoms, when it comes to, you know, heavy bleeding and cramps. You can, these things, and anemia, of course, these things can be addressed as you're resolving and, you know, in the process of shrinking your fibroids. You can also address these issues. I see so many women who, you know, opt to get surgery, either myomectomy or hysterectomy, even to stop the bleeding, you know, to stop not even just the fibroids, the things that are accompanied with the fibroids, because they're tired of dealing with all of the issues accompanied with the fibroids. But you don't have to, because what happens is when you go on your journey of shrinking your fibroids, when you go on your journey of rebalancing your hormones, within 30 to 60 days, all of those fibroid symptoms, including heavy bleeding, including anemia, will decrease drastically. Okay, anemia is something that can be resolved within a month of really being, you know, serious about it. And it's not just you pop an iron pill every day, because we know these, you should know by now that these iron pills a lot of times are synthetic. Okay, and another thing too is that they can lead to constipation, which is another whole nother issue within itself, right? So, you know, you really taking time to heal the gut, because if we're dealing with anemia, if we're dealing with heavy bleeding, that's a gut health issue. If we're dealing with fibroids, again, that's a gut health issue, right? Taking time to heal the gut and really, you know, rebalance those hormones is so important, right? In order for your body to do what it's designed to do. And during that process, as time goes on, the fibroids will begin to starve off and shrink, because you will now no longer be doing things to feed the fibroid. Okay, and again, I'm really gonna talk about that in full length in my Freedom from Fibroids workshop, because this is something a lot of women need to know: how to get rid of heavy bleeding, you know, how to resolve anemia. Very, very important, because you cannot be walking around with, you know, low blood volume, like no blood. Like, you cannot be walking around like that, right? Your body starts to deteriorate once once you're anemic. You know, it causes a range of health issues. Okay. So, very, very, very important. And like I said, a lot of women think that they have to remove the fibroids in order to get any relief within, like, you know, when it comes to fibroid symptoms. And you don't have to remove your fibroids to get relief, but you do have to make the necessary changes. Okay. So now I want to address a myomectomy, because a myomectomy, again, is a lot of women look at it as a treatment option, or, you know, the cure for fibroids. And it's really not, because what happens is, if you do not get to the root cause of what you know caused the body to develop fibroids in the first place, the fibroids will either come back, or what will happen is you will develop another estrogen dominant health issue. Okay, I've had clients that in the past, before, you know, years ago, they had fibroid surgery, then they developed endometriosis. You know, there is one person who messaged me who had a fibroid surgery. I told her not to do it in December, because she was just fed up with all the symptoms, right? And then guess what? Now she found out about a month ago she has a 5 centimeter fibroid after just having myomectomy in December. Okay, just a few months later. And this happens quite frequently. You know, women going to get the myomectomy and getting another fibroid within months, within a year. There's women that have gone to have myomectomy every 2 years. So this is not the best treatment option for fibroids, because, again, you're not getting to the root cause of the problem. You still have that hormonal imbalance when you remove those fibroids, right? You still have the hormonal imbalances. You still have the body filled with toxicity and a whole range of other health issues when you're dealing with fibroids. So a myomectomy, honestly, is a waste of time. It can even do more damage in the body, because we're talking about cutting through the body's lymphatic system, the lymph vessels, right? You know, causing more trauma to that system, and it's already been impacted and compromised when we have fibroids, right? So, you know, it just makes things worse. It can make things worse. Another thing too, birth control also, people try to use that as a treatment option for heavy bleeding, or a treatment option to regulate their hormones, which it actually does the opposite, because you're talking about flooding your body with synthetic hormones every single day. That does a lot of damage to your body. Your body's already in hormonal disarray when you have fibroids. So just imagine you pumping into your body every single day synthetic hormones. That is, it's awful. Like, it destroys the body, and you may not feel it at the time, but later on, what tends to happen with a lot of women, they tend to get another health issue, right? It may be not even related to reproductive organs. It could be diabetes. It could be because what birth control does is literally deplete the body's minerals. It ruins your gut health. It does a number on the gut. Okay, so I want you guys to. There's other real. Don't look at, when it comes to fibroids, it's not about treating fibroids. It's about getting to the root cause and cutting it from the roots. It's not about, just what can I do to treat it right now? No, you have to think long term. Let me get to the root cause of this problem, right? Let me get to the root cause of the problem in order to heal this problem so it doesn't become an issue in the next year or two, okay? Don't just think about relieving the problem right now, okay? So though fibroids itself doesn't directly cause anemia, what happens is it contributes to the development of anemia. Okay, so in anemia, like I said earlier, it's very dangerous. It's because your body is not able to, when you're anemic, your body's not able, your red blood cells is not able to send enough oxygen to your vital organs, right? That includes your heart. Okay, so you're telling me that you're walking around anemic and your body is not able to provide enough oxygen. Your red blood cells are not providing enough oxygen to your heart. Are you kidding me? Thank you so much. That is serious. That is serious. That is no joke. So that's why a lot of women that are anemic, they have chest pains. That's scary. That is no joke. So you're literally deteriorating your body when you are anemic. So because I see a lot of women that are anemic and they just walk around anemic for years and they're not doing anything to resolve it. It's a very serious issue. It is no joke. Okay. Your vital organs aren't getting enough oxygen. Just think about that. Okay, so and anemia is something you can resolve within weeks. It's not hard to resolve at all, even with large fibroids. Okay, anemia is something you can resolve within weeks. Heavy bleeding, the same thing. You can resolve that within weeks. A lot of my clients in my Detoxify Your Womb program, even with large fibroids, were able to resolve their anemia, were able to get their, rebalance their hormones so their bleeding really decreases, their menstrual bleeding decreases, and the number of days they're on their cycle, that decreases as well. And they start to feel better, they have more energy levels, the higher energy levels, because when you're anemic, like your body is like void of energy, you're pale. A lot of women don't even notice that they are pale. And I'm looking at them like, whoa, you're pale. Like I can tell that you're anemic, and they don't realize it, So it's almost like you just see it. I could just see it in their face. Maybe it's because I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know, but I could just tell when somebody's anemic by just looking at them, right? So it's very serious. You can heal this stuff in the process of you shrinking your fibroids. Don't think that you have to get rid of the fibroids in order for your bleeding to stop. You can, as you're on your fibroid shrinking journey, you can, like I said, these issues will alleviate itself. Okay. So really, really important. So I want you guys, if you guys are dealing with anemia, if you guys are dealing with fibroids, both or either one, like I said, look at it as a symptom of a larger issue going on in the body, a hormonal imbalance. Your lymphatic system is compromised, right? You're dealing with heavy levels of toxicity in the body. Don't just look at fibroids on its own as that's the problem. No, you're dealing with a bigger problem. That's just a symptom, okay? So if you're interested, for ladies that are dealing with fibroids and you're dealing with heavy bleeding, these are all things that I've dealt with in the past, okay? In case you don't know my story, I've had fibroids twice, about a decade ago, had surgery the first time, they grew back like they always do, and then I was able to shrink them on my own, okay? So if you are dealing with fibroids, now what I do is I help women who have fibroids, who are dealing with fertility issues and other reproductive health issues, okay? I help women with healing their wombs, and I've helped many women get rid of fibroids, cysts, blocked tubes, endometriosis, you name it, PCOS, diabetes, you name it, okay? So very important, if you're dealing with fibroids, if you're dealing with anemia, if you're dealing with blocked tubes or any reproductive health issue that causing you a lot of symptoms, I have a Freedom from Fibroid workshop going on next week on June 7th and June 8th. 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time through 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? And I'm really excited about it because I'm going to really help women and teach you how and provide you with practical practical solutions on healing your fibroids, on shrinking your fibroids and eliminating your fibroids, okay? We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about also the origins of fibroids, how the fibroids develop in the body, because you have to know how it develops in order for you to avoid reoccurrence, because fibroids do this thing like, you know, they like to reoccur. We're also going to talk about how to prevent fibroid reoccurrence, how to prevent fibroids, because I know a lot of people that follow me, they may not have fibroids, but they want to prevent it. They don't ever want it to interfere, you know, with their womb health. We're going to talk about how to also increase the health of your womb. We're going to talk about how to get rid of anemia, how to get rid of heavy bleeding, okay, how to heal your gut, and all that stuff, and how to, you know, not just heal yourself on a physical level, also on a spiritual and emotional level, because fibroids on a spiritual level represents, every disease has a spiritual root, and fibroids represents, you know, lots of things on a spiritual level. And we're going to really dive into that in this workshop, and I'm so excited, and it's going to be on Zoom, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's only in 6 days. So if you have not registered for the fight, we have people, I'm so excited for ladies that have registered, but if you have not registered, if you are dealing with fibroids, if you haven't registered, go ahead and click the link in my bio, sign up. It is only $75, but it's going to be an absolutely amazing workshop, okay? You're also, for ladies that, because I've got this question a lot, the replays are included. So everybody that signs up does get a replay. So in case you have to miss a few minutes or an hour, in case you're at work, everybody that signs up will get the replays, okay? And also, if you're on the Zoom, you also have access to the Q&A as well. So I'll be answering a lot of questions, and yeah, it'll be an intimate space. You know, we're going to do it on Zoom, so it's going to be absolutely amazing, okay? So if you're interested, go ahead and click the link in my bio and sign up today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about the workshop, feel free to DM me, okay? And I hope that you guys really take, you know, healing your fibroids and you're getting rid of anemia seriously, because like I said, these are things that deteriorate the body, and we have to get to the root cause of the problem and not just look at the problem on its own, okay? So hopefully you learned something, you got something out of this live, all right? I don't do live as often as I used to, but when I do want to pour value, you know, into you guys, okay? So have a good one, ladies. Talk to you later. Bye.